John Martin in the back. Joan Moser Kuiper. Robert Mann is not with us. He's somewhere scuba diving, evidently. Australia, that's where he is. And then Jackie Thurlman in the back. And then our treasurer, she's our secretary too, sorry. Our treasurer, Jen Krause, is not with us tonight. She's taking classes for her MBA, I believe. She is also leaving the board. She's going to be a person that we're going to really need to find a great replacement for, because she's been the finance department basically for the board forever. She's been the person that's been there. Our other outgoing board member is Marcia Peterson, right here. We would love to thank her. For 9 years she was on the board. 9 years. That's a long time. It's a long time. And for those of you leaving the board, just a reminder, we do have a new volunteer director. If you're looking for something to do while you're no longer on the board. All righty. So the part that I get to talk about that we did over the last couple of years with the DeVos Institute put together a capacity building program for nonprofits in West Michigan. And it was a really great thing that we did. And over the 2 years, we have put together a strategic plan. And in that, we looked at all aspects of what we do here at the museum, but we started with a 500-foot view of first, what do museums do? What's the trends in the field of museums? Then we took from there and we looked at where are we at? What is going on in the Tri-Cities? What's our demographics? What's it look like? What do people do for entertainment? All that kind of stuff. Then we looked at who we are and what we are as the museum. And we looked for areas of strength, areas that we could grow and do things different. I'll call the last part was like a 2-foot vision of like who we are and what we're doing and what we're going to try to do. What I found exciting about this organization and how we went through this was a lot of times you've probably been through professional planning and developing and things like that, and they tell you all these things you should do, and then they go do it. And I was sitting in the last meeting going, God, here it goes again. And then all of a sudden they started showing the 2-foot version, and it was like, okay, here's a plan of what you can do 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, and out. And I was like, that's fantastic. Those are the steps that we get to look at and the things that we get to now try to implement that we think are going to best fit what we do here. So we're very excited about that. We will be giving you more information and things like that as we get that rolling. So thank you. Now we have we're going to do the nominating of, we have 2 board members that I said we're going off. We need to know if there are any nominations from the floor of anyone that would like to be nominated for a board position.
I nominate Courtney Engel.
Okay, so we have Courtney Engel. Do you accept the nomination?
Courtney is here.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I saw you there. Okay. All right. Excellent. Okay. So, yeah. Now we have to do a vote, right?
Yes.
Paper vote.
So on your program, you will see that we have on your program, you will see that we have 2 members two candidates, to come forward and have volunteered to be candidates to fill the positions, Annie Baker and Robert or Bob Schmidt. And now with a nomination from the floor, the end of your program actually is perforated, so you can write in if you would like to vote for Courtney as that 3rd spot. And then we will collect those, tally those up, and announce the winner. Or vote.
Pencils are coming around for you. Again, the write-in nomination is Courtney Engel, Courtney.
No, I say you can go in.
Engel, if you don't have a program, jump, shout, and throw a temper tantrum. You needed this as you came in the door. Could I have more programs? anybody need a voting ballot? A ballot, pencils are behind you. Pencils. We have little mini cute pencils.
Is there any discussion of the candidates? Because I'd be voting.
Anybody need one of
blind.
these?
Okay.
So the backside.
Oh, that's a good idea.
If you would. And then that is your vote if you would like that. You
I would say we
circle.
just bring up each person and
Okay,
say,
okay. All right, there's been a question on the floor if we could meet the candidates, so if each candidate could come up here and then give us a brief introduction. So who would like to go?
Courtney's up.
Courtney's the first one to get to the microphone. She's going first.
Hi, I'm Courtney Engel. I have worked at this museum for, well, I don't work here anymore, but I worked at this museum for almost 2.5 years. I just left to go work for a nonprofit in Muskegon. I still live in Grand Haven. I have a master's degree in museum leadership, so I know how boards and museums work, and hopefully I can help work with this museum. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Annie Baker. I co-own D. Baker and Son Lumber Company, which is a 150-year-old business in town. I'm involved in a lot of things, and I'm really into history and the historical museum, and I wanted to give this a shot, so I'm trying it out.
I have 4 daughters.
You don't get a pity vote, Frank.
I bring that up because I've had many surprises, and the first one was I didn't know I was supposed to come up here and say something tonight. So, my name is Bob Schmidt. I'm a lifelong resident of the Tri-Cities. I couldn't be more honored if I was elected. It's an area that's always been dear to my heart, so I will do my best if you decide to elect me. And I do love my 4 daughters.
And you're a CPA.
Oh yes, I'm a CPA. Did I do that good?
Yes. Important fact. Okay. Procedurally, we have 2 slots to fill, so on the back of your ballot, you are putting 2 names.
And then we'll come around and collect them.
Yep, and once you have got your balloting done, you tear that little guy off, and we have people with a basket who will wander around and pick them up. You are writing in 2 names, Bob Schmidt, Annie Baker, or Courtney Engels. Is it okay to circle names? That's also okay. Do you only get circle 2 then? And while we gather those and count those, we have a very fun presentation for you guys. So we have an annual little highlights of the year. Give us a couple of minutes to boot this guy up. Might need smart technology to turn this off, because I did it earlier and it was great. And now I'm not getting anything. Is it going? Ah, there we go, just a little slower. You know, let that warm up a little. Go right in front, yeah. Sarah, hi Benny. More pencils, please. Pencils, please, right here. Pencils, please. My pencil distributors. And is there any possibility to dim this row of lights?
It's based on the track, it's not based on like which.
Okay, okay.
So unfortunately.
No. The lights will be just as they are.
I'm sorry.
It was great this afternoon, once I closed the shades. All right, Are folks comfortable with me starting this, or do you need a few moments to concentrate still? Ready? Steady. Go. You may have questions after this. Feel free to ask.
So in case you're not hip and cool, slay means like, yes, that's awesome. So that was clearly one of our younger visitors. I didn't know the word. And you may have noticed, as Alyssa mentioned, having questions about what you saw, there were some artifacts that we were manhandling a little bit, dunking in water, dusting flour off. Those were items that were generously donated to us by Love in Action from the resale shop so that we could practice rescuing our collection in case of emergency. So we did water-based scenarios, fire-based scenarios, and really walked through the system that is used on the federal level to respond to a disaster. So no artifacts were harmed in the making of that training.
Okay, we do have a result with the voting. Annie Baker and Bob Schmidt have been elected to the board. A vote? For the record. Okay, for the record, the votes were Annie 34, Bob 35, and Courtney 15. This is really important to you. It isn't to me, but it is to you. All righty, now to the part of the night that is my favorite part. We're going to do Historian of the Year. And I'm going to read you a little bit about our winner. If you haven't looked at the agenda, the winner's name's on there, so it's not like suspenseful that I'm going to tell you who won, but I'm going to tell you why he won, and that's going to be suspenseful. Okay, so our winner is Dr. Chris Petrus, right over here. You wave to the crowd. All righty. He was born in Wisconsin, raised in Michigan. Dr. Petrus kept his Midwestern roots while earning a doctorate in public administration and public policy from Western Michigan University. Where are the Broncos? None? Wow, you're the only one. We got another one. We got a couple of Broncos. That's good. Okay, when Dr. Petrus moved to Grand Haven area, he discovered a rich military history woven into the community's fabric. It was a natural fit. Dr. Petrus' late grandfather served in World War II. Several of Dr. Petrus's ancestors served in various wars, including the Civil War and World War I. Wanting to learn more about the military history of the Grand Haven Tri-Cities area, Dr. Petrus began researching Grand Haven's Company F soldiers. He discovered Company F played an integral part during World War I. Digging deeper, he uncovered documents which led him to the posthumous, there's a reason I don't teach English, award of Purple Heart medals to namesakes Charles A. Conklin and Alvin F. Junker. You may know them as the American Legion and the VFW post in Grand Haven. Most recently, Dr. Petrus' research resulted in the posthumous awarding of Purple Heart medals to 17 Grand Haven World War I soldiers. I think that deserves a round of applause. His research and insights on Grand Haven during World War I have been featured in various publications, including guest columns in the Grand Haven Tribune. In 2019, Dr. Petrus published a book on the first 100 years of the Charles A. Conklin American Legion Post 28 and co-produced and directed a documentary film based on the book with acclaimed West Michigan documentary filmmaker Daniel Joel Deal. The documentary was broadcast on regional PBS television stations. The reason that this guy was the slam dunk for our award this year was, if you were here in January, you may have seen his presentation. He has promised me tonight he's going to repeat it. So if you weren't here, he's doing it again, all right? Because it was that good, all right? But his presentation and just the work and passion he put into researching for these gentlemen and their Purple Hearts, and seeing some of the people who had family members that were here for that presentation and what that meant to them is a justification in itself for why we're giving this local historian award to him. And then on top of that, he had the foresight to think where should these things reside? And not that because he picked us, that's not the reason, but he picked a museum, not somebody's garage or somebody's house where nobody's going to see them. A museum where other people can research and look at them is a major thing. And that was, I think the foresight in that is fantastic. And hopefully they're going to be researched for years and years. So please come up and join us and get your award. We have a little one for him, don't we? All right. Your name's going to be on here.
Okay.
Okay, so just
Not
smile,
on.
do the shake. There you go.
Shake, evidently.
Yeah, handshake, there you go.
Okay. All righty. They're all yours.
Thank you. Well, I have to tell you, I didn't really know what to prepare for tonight. I consider myself so blessed to be able to do this type of work, and that the museum, when I was watching the presentation, the mission and the vision about telling the stories of the Tri-Cities area, it's been very inspiring to me, and so has the staff here at this museum and the board members also. I haven't had a chance to meet all of them, but the ones who I have, particularly Jeanette Wyden, who you met earlier here during the board introductions. I said this in January, and I'll say it again. She was the biggest inspiration to me when I started this project. And this is, I gotta say, I started doing this 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and I'm still working on Purple Heart medals today. If it's okay with Verla Thomas, who I met, and here's an interesting story about sharing stories about the community. I wrote a column on the history of the Purple Heart that was published in the local paper, the Grand Haven Tribune. And I received an email from Matt DeYoung, the managing editor of the paper, saying, hey, someone reached out to us. It was Verla Thomas over here, whose father served in World War I. And she felt that her father, he was wounded in action during World War I, and that could we, check to see if he's eligible to have the Purple Heart. Well, to get right to the chase, the spoiler alert, we don't know yet. It's the materials have been sent and we're waiting, but just for me personally, for what I've gone through in this process, it looks like he is. But the fact that, Verla, 93 years young, comes and you never know, and that's all part of what this whole Tri-Cities area is about. I'm not from here originally, but when I did come here and I did the research, I just discovered, as the president said of the board, that there's just this rich military history here. And I actually, when we did the documentary film, someone came out to me after doing all this research 100 years on, he said, so what was your takeaway from this? What do you, I'm thinking, I said, you know what? Grand Haven was built on military heroism, not tourism. And I should have put that on the t-shirts, but I didn't. And so anyway, that's how it really got started. Really, with doing the history, there's now two questions that have to really be answered. People want to know. It used to be why. Why are you doing this? Why are you going through it? And in my bio that was read pretty much explains where I'm coming from. But now today, you have to answer the so what question. People want to know, so what? Who cares? That was a long time ago. I don't know anybody from that era. And it got me thinking, and while I've been doing my research, you read these stories, these journal entries from soldiers that served back during World War I. And one quote in particular was from a corporal. His name was Emil Ganser, who was from Kalamazoo, Michigan. He served in the 126th Regiment here that our group from Grand Haven was in, and from the Tri-Cities. And when the war was over, he had this quote, and I brought it with me, and I'll finish with this tonight. But I want to say, though, before I read this, how grateful I am to everyone here, the members, the community, the board, the museum. It's been very inspirational to me. I'm still going. I'm working on a book. I can leak that out right now. I'm writing a book on all of this, putting this this whole thing together for the Tri-Cities area, and I have another project too that I'm working on, but I'll get to that as the time comes. But here's what Corporal Ganser said regarding, to answer the so what question. He says, those of our number who are not privileged to return become our most precious contribution to the onward march of democracy. They become to a heritage for those yet unborn, an inspiration for them to serve as they serve to make this world what God would have it be. Though no longer to contribute in the flesh, their deeds will form a chapter in the book of ideals that nourishes those who would be great. It is in the memory of our glorious dead that we find those impulses that urge us on to better and more noble men. Zemo Ganser in 1920. I can't thank you enough, everybody in the whole community, the board, all the staff here. Obviously, this is inspirational, so I'll probably start working even harder tomorrow, right? But to leave it at that, thank you very much, and it's quite an honor and very humbling to receive the Historian of the Year. I mean, it's one thing to say, hey, you know, it's a nice contribution, but the Historian of the Year, that's very humbling. Thank you very much.
All right, at this point, we're going to officially adjourn, and we're going to open the table back there with the food on it. So please get some food. All right, who needs this for official records?
We do need that.
Right, somebody needs to take that.
Yes, everyone, please help yourself to food and drink. Our staff will be around to answer questions and chat with the community, our curators, facilities people on hand. And yeah, enjoy the evening.
Well, I've never been here before, but this is my stepson. I married his dad.
Oh, really?
This is an amazing.
Well, thank you so much for saying that.
I just seeing a little bit of it. Just the vision, your opening statements about the vision and your commitment. It's really beautiful.
Thank you. What was your name?
Laura.
Laura, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.